Hey folks, thanks for joining us today. In this video today we are going to learn how to attach or retrofit a Hennco Precision Core AMD abrasive metering device to a flow flying bridge. Alright, let's get started. First things first, let's make sure we turn off the air to the abrasive pot, decompressing any pressurized air in the system. Alright, it's probably going to be easiest to go ahead and move the cutting head to the front side of the table and make a good spot to begin doing the retrofit. To begin with, we're going to go ahead and remove the air lines from the existing flow abrasive regulator, making sure to leave the lines in the control manifold. Alright, from there let's go ahead and remove the abrasive feed line to the cutting head from the bottom of the regulator and set aside for now. Alright, let's grab a 7/8 and a 1-inch wrench so that way we can begin the disassembly of the main abrasive feed line from the underside of the bridge as seen here. Go ahead and allow any residual abrasive left in the line to flow into the tank. Alright, next we're going to grab a 3mm hex key and begin to take off the main assembly from the bridge as shown here. Take out the 4 bolts and of course let's set those aside for now in case you do ever want to reinstall the OEM abrasive regulator. Once all 4 bolts are loose, you're going to see that the unit easily comes off. Let's go ahead and set that aside for now. If possible, go ahead and mark the air lines, which one opens and which ones close your existing device, as that's going to be the same air lines feeding the AMD. Alright, next let's grab a 4mm hex key and we're going to remove the bolts as seen here from the bridge, and we're going to utilize these existing threads and bolts to mount the AMD to the bridge. Alright, let's go ahead and find the mounting bracket labeled 19023 and the screws labeled 99024. We're going to utilize a 3/16 hex key and the screws provided to install the mounting bracket to the back of the AMD. Utilizing a 4mm hex key, let's go ahead and use the screws that we took out of the bridge and attach the AMD to the same holes that we took those screws out of as shown here. Once installed, let's go ahead and make sure that the door closes and that you can see the bottom of the abrasive and have easy access to the knob. Let's go ahead and reattach the abrasive line from the Pazer 4 cutting head to the bottom of the AMD. You'll see that the AMD spout faces the wrong way. So one of the neat parts is you can just take off the downspout as you see here and reattach it, flipping it 180 degrees, making the abrasive line fit more easily. All right, let's move on to the airline inlets. So you're going to want to grab bag number 99041 and go ahead and use a 7/16 inlet and tighten those airlines. All right, let's grab bag labeled 99014, which is the fitting which will go on the exit side of the AMD. After getting it hand tight, let's go ahead and utilize an 11/16 wrench and snug up that fitting. Let's grab the abrasive line from the cutting head that we set aside earlier. You can see here that Flow utilizes these different fittings to tighten. The AMD does not utilize that. We use air fittings, which are just a snap to connect as shown here. Alright, as you can see here, the way we mount the AMD, the existing air lines are not going to reach our air fittings. So one of the things you're going to want to look for is Hennco part number 99042, which is airline supplied by us that is meant to replace the existing hose. You're going to see here you're going to have to go ahead and install and cut to length, making sure that you have the right air lines hooked up for air to open and air to close. Alright, next let's grab an 1/8" wrench and tighten down the inlet fitting for the main feed line. Alright, go ahead and find the hose assembly. It'll be a piece of 1-inch hose with fittings on either end, and for now go ahead and hand tight on both ends. All right, then we're going to grab a 7/8 and a 1-inch wrench and tighten up those fittings snug. All right, congratulations. You have successfully installed the AMD to your flow. We've got the air lines hooked up for the controls. We've got the main feed line feeding the abrasive regulator. Now it's time to test to make sure that we did everything correct. All right, as you can see here, you want to go to your controls and turn abrasive on and off and make sure that the AMD is responding accordingly to the open and closed position. All right, let's go ahead and turn on the abrasive pot and watching the abrasive flow as you can see here. Basically, it's going to go ahead and enter the AMD, filling the acrylic tube. Once the acrylic tube is full, it should stop filling as it equalizes at the stainless fitting inside of the acrylic tube. All right, you are now ready for some cutting. So let's go ahead and turn the dial to the appropriate setting. You can check with Hennco to make sure you got the right setting. And good luck, and thank you again for watching a video from Hennco.